that you've been living your life incorrectly. None of you want to admit that you are responsible for animals being forcefully impregnated, having their children stolen, being suffocated in gas chambers. So this is why you attack, right? Your psychological reaction, your defense mechanism kicks in and goes, hey, don't tell me what to eat. Don't take away my freedom. This is your natural, instead of demanding change. Because we can't just be honest and tell you to stop paying for grape and smada. We have to sugarcoat it. We have to stroke your ego. We have to tell you things like, hey, it's okay, buddy. We've all been there. You know, we've all made mistakes. It's okay. Take your time. We have to stroke your ego. Even though you're paying for grape and murder and kidnappings and death and violence, we're not allowed to tell you that outright because it hurts your feelings. And when your ego gets hurt, you start acting defensively instead of listening. Darby, stop. So that is why we have to stroke your egos, and people equals culture, faith, family, memory. And challenging someone's food choices is challenging their identity because they are identifying with these things like culture, faith, and family around food. Now, people defend meat to protect belonging, not logic, because anyone being truly honest and logical would admit that unnecessarily paying for death, forceful grape, forceful suffocation, all of these things are wrong. Nobody can logically argue against that. We know when it's unnecessary, it's wrong, right? Only dumb people think. The reason you are defending it is because you are trying to defend your identity around it, of culture, of faith, of family, of memory, whatever, right? Right, Giovanni, get that off the live. Now let's get one thing straight, right? This is a huge problem with the meat industry, right? It's just propaganda, right? For centuries, meat has been symbolized with wealth, dominance, and strength, right? There are men who come up here and go, oh, I'm a real man because I pay for little animals to die and I steal their mothers from them. Ooh, manly. Oh, I'm so masculine. Check me out. Big Earn! Big Earn shop. The biggest lie you've been told. That apparently paying for mother cows to be forcefully impregnated, having rods shoved into their... What we pay for when we buy milk, by the way. Yes? We are taught to think that these things are manly. We are taught to think that eating the body of an innocent animal makes you a man. It makes you masculine. Only real men pay for the death of the innocent beings. Only real men do that. Absolute meat propaganda, right? So we are basically breaking the coding that has been taught to you from a young age, this ideology that paying for death and suffering somehow makes you strong and manly and powerful, right? Adam, pay attention. Now, this is the other part. Why is the meat industry desensitizing you guys? Look at this. Adam, pay attention. We say beef instead of cow. Why do we say pork instead of pig? Why? Because when the animal disappears, empathy switches off. I repeat, why do we say beef instead of cow? For the love of... Alex, do not get involved. Alex, do not get involved. And this is why we don't use the word, right? Because those of you that actually have a heart, you don't want to know that you're eating a pig and a cow. I know that you know deep down it is, but you're not analytically thinking about it. When you consume that burger, you're not thinking, oh, damn, this is a really good cow. I wonder how many children this mother cow had. Oh, damn, I wonder if she loved her children. I wonder how old she was able to live to. I wonder how many memories, because you have to, but because you enjoy the taste of her, right? Geo, stop. That is the second problem, right? It's the defensiveness to protect your consciousness and your morality from accepting the true harm of what you're doing, right? Now, the I do gooder effect. When someone behaves more ethically, like vegans, others feel judged, even if they're not being judged, right? And to eat the reflection that we make you look at. Again, let me say that again. You don't hate vegans. It's the resistance that you have within yourself to admit and acknowledge that what you're doing is wrong. That is why I don't take your attacks personally. Yes, I might get angry. Yes, I might get upset. But I always come back. Why? Because I know that you guys don't hate me. I know that you guys don't dislike me. You just hate having to look in the mirror at yourself and accept that what you need to pay for this harm and violence. Short and Geo, thank you. You don't need to pay for this cruelty to animals. And when you look at that mirror and realize that mother cows are literally having rods and human arms shoved into their private part to forcefully impregnate them, when you realize that baby calves are crying because they don't have their mother right now, just so that you can drink a liquid that you don't even need, when you realize that pigs are being suffocated to death in gas chambers, when you realize all of these things are happening because you attack the people that bring you the truth, you say, how dare you show me the truth? How dare you show me the suffering? How dare you show me the consequences of my own actions? Now I'm obliged to change. I don't want to see the truth. I just need an excuse to keep doing it. And that is media and industry amplifies and take away. Global meat and dairy lobbies spend billions reinforcing old habits, giving us ready-made defenses like protein, B12, plants have feelings. Understand, there was literally a story, by the way, in plant-based news that showed and lying, saying I was vegan and I became sick. How do I know they're lying? Darby, stop. How do I know they're lying? Because they say I've been vegan for 2 years, and I'm saying, okay, so what does vegan mean? Oh, I don't know. So sorry, you've been vegan for 2 years and you don't know what the meaning of the word vegan is. Where did you get your B12 from? Oh, I didn't take B12. Wait, sorry, you didn't take an essential nutrient and you're wondering why you felt sick? Oh yeah, but it's because of veganism. No, but you can get B12 on a plant-based diet. Yeah, but it's veganism's fault. This is a level of stupidity and lies that you hear. Vegans notice when your beliefs are actually yours or whether they're being sold to you. Okay? I hope this has really helped you guys understand. You don't dislike vegans. You just stop. Big gun, that better be to celebrate the fact that we managed to finish it finally. Right, fantastic. Darby, stop. Now let's jump straight into the live stream. We're going to have our first guest on the live. Please only join this live if you are over 18 and you are here for a serious discussion. We are not here to mess around. Adults only join if you actually have a logical argument against veganism.
Hello.
Uh, how old are you, please? Under 18. Stop. Because you're literally wasting my time and everyone else's time. Bigger and stop. Let me just explain something to all the kids here, right? I am not going to hear your voice and delude myself into thinking you're an adult. I can literally tell you're a minor. And you're wasting my time and you're wasting everyone else's time here. Because I'm not going to speak to you. So don't waste your time by sitting here for half an hour to come up and then lie about your age. I promise you I will know you're lying. Do you know
I'm
what?
19.
Stop promoting dog exploitation. How old are you, sir?
I'm 19.
You're 19. What year were you born, please? You don't know what year you were born? Okay, if that's too difficult for you to answer, so no worries. You can just move on. I hope you have a good day. Thank you so much. Anyone who struggles to answer basic questions like how old are you, please also remove your guest request from the box. I don't have any patience to deal with people who don't know how old they are. Yeah? Thank you so much. Yeah, how old are you, mate? Hello? Leave the live stream. You're not going to be coming up again. Because you wasted my time. You wasted 5 seconds of my time. You're not going to come up for 100 hours. That's how it works, buddy. Yeah? 2 hours for every second you waste of mine. Literally that simple. For every second of mine you waste, you will be punished for 2 hours. Yeah. How old are you, mate?
18.
You're 18. What year were you born? Oh my god. Oh my god.
2007.
I literally just got... Continue. Like, what the Yeah, how old are you, mate?
18.
You're 18, yeah? What year were you born?
2007.
Amazing. And why are you not a vegan, sir?
I'm not a vegan because I enjoy the it's got
Let me,
meat on
sorry,
the table.
can I just respond? So,
Yeah.
this is a sensory pleasure. You understand what sensory pleasure is. Humans have senses, taste, touch, all of that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So do you think that sensory pleasure justifies the death of a sentient being?
No, but
Yes, humans have been doing many things since the beginning of time, which includes rape, unaliving each other, stealing from each other, breaking down
yes.
pilgrimages, all of these kinds of disgusting things, right? So I don't
Yeah.
think that we should be basing how we've done since the beginning of time that are also disgusting and wrong. So we are not living our day. Man, keep your mouth shut. Keep your hands by your side and do not get involved. Okay.
Yeah. But what
Now your second reasoning, which was that you were brought up to do it. Many people could have been brought up to do many things. It doesn't justify doing it. For example, let's say your friend Samuel was brought up by parents who were thieves, and from a young age, Samuel was taught how to pickpocket people. When Samuel's now, let's say, 20 or 21, and he decides to pickpocket you, and you catch him and you say, Chaza, the reality is this isn't just taking something from somebody. This is taking a life away from a sentient being. And by the way, sentience means that they breathe, they feel, they think, they walk, they have subjective experiences, they have parents, they have families. So the reality is if you think it's wrong to take an object from another human being, why is it not wrong to unnecessarily rob a sentient being of their entire existence.
Yeah, that does make sense to me. But also, there's so much like meat production, and like I feel like if everyone just stopped eating meat, like all these animals would go to all that food would go to.
It's not an excess amount of animals because no one's demanding it. The reason that we have billions of animals being bred into existence is because consumers such as yourself are demanding it, right? The meat industry is a profit-driven industry. For any business to have good profit, they have to balance supply and demand. So they are looking at how many consumers are demanding these products, and then they match the supply, aka match the amount of animals based on the amount of consumers demanding it, right? So it's not like the amount of animals being bred into existence to be unalive would reduce by the hundreds of millions, if not, sorry, tens of billions, right? Because if one person eats 100 animals on average every single year, and suddenly 20% of the human population, which is about let's just say 1.5 billion, if 1.5 billion people stopped eating animals within the next, have an overpopulation of animals, is because we have billions of human beings demanding that those animals are bred into existence to be unalived. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're saying that animals are bred literally just
are naturally procreating. In the dairy industry, for example, 90% of the cases are they use a process called artificial insemination, right? Let me just explain what that right? Is that milk is meant for a baby calf, not a human. Now, this is where it gets really disgusting and wrong, right? 90% of the dairy industry in the West, a farmer or a vet will take a hand or a device and they will get a certain liquid from the male cow. I think you know what liquid I'm referring to. I don't need to go. Liquid, we either put it into a rod or something and we shove our hand inside the mother cow from the back, and we artificially inseminate her. Now, there's also another word in the English dictionary that we use when forceful penetration occurs against the will or the consent of a being. And that is what happens to these mother cows. They get artificially inseminated. If you don't believe me, there's a 5-minute video called Dairy is Scary on YouTube. You can literally see all of this for yourself. So they'll finally, there's something positive in my life. All the women on here who've had children, who want to have children, can maybe hopefully relate to this, right? When you had your baby, the feeling of endorphins and serotonin and that happiness that these mothers feel, having their baby in front of them, licking them. So many videos of these mother cows over the truck or a van, and they'll drive away because obviously they can't have the mother cow drinking that milk. They can't have the baby calves drinking that milk because the more milk the baby calf drinks, the less milk they can sell, right? Is the mother eventually does stop reacting to her children being taken away. Why? Because she spends her whole life being forcefully impregnated from the back, having her children stolen again and again and again and again, and she becomes so desensitized. Why bother investing in them? Why bother getting emotionally attached? Because they're just going to be stolen from you, right? So this is what the dairy industry do. They'll force 90% in the West because it's a lot cheaper, it's a lot safer than making a male cow procreate with her, because that could result in injuries, that could result in any other things. So they get the male bulls that they really like, that have good genes, like grow big, grow strong, grow fat, and they'll take that liquid. Really sad because their babies have been taken away from them. Obviously, the calves are really sad because, as you know, every baby wants to be with their mother, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, this is sadly the sad reality. Obviously, there's much more videos I could show you, but TikTok's very, very restricting, very, very restrictive on showing people like the actual harm that they cause. So I have to be very that's basically let's just put it, that's the lightest version I'm actually allowed to show you. Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So the reality is I'm sure you can understand why forcefully impregnating taken away.
And where are they being taken?
So the baby calves will get taken and they'll get put into their own section where they'll either be raised. So what happens is that if the mother gives birth to a male, because he's no use to the dairy industry, because obviously only females can produce milk, he'll get taken to the beef industry and slashed in the neck. If he's lucky, he might go to the dairy industry. Where
At that young?
Yeah, they do sell baby milk, but also if he's a male, he can be grown up and they can take his liquid and forcefully impregnate more mothers, right? So
But
either
do the males have like a good life at least? Like, are they living on a farm at least?
yeah. So they might have open fields and stuff to roam in certain areas, but that's besides the point, because the reality is they're still going to have their liquid drained from their body and shoved into the mother cows. So again, you can look at the dairy and they're going to spend their entire life being forcefully impregnated and having to watch their children being taken away from them again and again and again. So who cares if they have a big green land to walk in? That's not going to bring their baby back. That's not going to make their body recover. And you know what the saddest part is? After this mother spends her whole life being forcefully impregnated again and again and again, the moment her body,
killed for meat.
yeah, the moment her body abandoned by your mother, or your mother can't produce milk, that's the only justified reason that I can understand that you would need milk as a human being. As a fully grown adult, we can get calcium from things like dark leafy greens. We can get it from things like tofu. We can get it. We can get it from things like figs, nuts, broccoli, soy food. And that is why vegans don't consume milk. But the sad reality is, Bradley, thank you so much for those flowers there. The sad reality is you would be shocked. Nobody knows this. I'll be honest, though, you probably didn't know that either, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah. And the reason you don't know this is because the dairy industry specifically hide this information from you because you're their customers. And if you see what they're doing, it means that you might switch to plant-based milk alternatives, which lots and lots of people are doing. The reality is that's their business. That's why they call them livestock. They call the animals livestock because they are literally stock. They are just products for means to obtaining products so that they can sell. So that's the sad reality. And by the way, if you want to verify anything I said, literally 5 minutes on YouTube, there's a video called Dairy is Scary on YouTube. Free. You can literally see all of this for yourself. It's only 5 minutes and you'll literally understand how the dairy industry works in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and in the beginning, I remember you said how the cows would what's it called? They'd be like taken to the
Unalived at about 4 to 5 years old. So if you do the quick math there, that means that they get to live about maybe 15 to 20% of their lifespan. So they'll have 80% of their lifespan taken away from them. And now you might ask yourself, why? Well, think about it. The longer the that they might not be able to be sold, which means the farmer might lose out on money. The longer they're there, if they're you know, they might start causing fights with the females. They might start procreating and hurting the female cows. So the reality is when you're viewing animals as products and commodities, which is what farmers do, non-vegan farmers do, they view these animals as stock. They treat them as to reduce their profit. They're not going to do that. They're not a sanctuary. That these animals are there to make them money. That's why they're there. They can say, "Oh, I love my animals. I take care of my animals." Blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, the animal is only there so that they can make money off the animal. When you truly love animals, like these farmers claim, you don't view them as a means to obtain profit or resources. You have them there to love them and for them to be part of your family. If anyone here has dogs and cats, that's what loving an animal is. To them is literally barbaric and disgusting, and the fact that they try to excuse it by saying they love these animals, it's just plain lies. It's just marketing from the industry to not let you see the true level of harm and grotesque that they perform on a day-to-day basis to these animals. But that's the reality, just so that I can make sure that you come back up.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, bro. And you're very open-minded for 18 years old, way more open-minded than literally most of the people here who are literally like double or triple your age. So, huge W to you, bro. And yeah, hopefully speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. That is able to be delivered without unnecessary interruptions. It's just crazy. I feel like I've been on this live for 5 to 10 minutes, and it's actually been 35 minutes. Right? That is how beautiful these lives can be, where I can genuinely sit here for so long and help people, educate people, and open their eyes, right? But the reality is I don't get the opportunity to do this because I'm constantly being bombarded and interrupted. But while we have this opportunity to educate people, let's use it. Yes, Bradley.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know I've given some thought more about veganism. I'm definitely. I did end up watching Dominion Movement though.
How much of it did you watch? How long?
I watched pretty much the whole thing. I kind of did skip through some segments that I wasn't really interested in looking at, but
what did you think?
I thought, yeah, it's terrible what those big facilities do to them animals.
Your cows procreate.
What was that?
How do you get baby calves?
We have a male bull out there who does it for them. So we've got one for the heifers, like the younger stock, and then we got one for the ones that are milking age.
Did you just hear the word you used, bro? Did you hear that? You said stock. Do you not see that?
Yeah.
Issue? You're referring to a sentient, breathing, innocent. That literally takes away their innocence, their life, their sentience, their awareness, their subjective
experience. And the things that I've experienced, we've been farming, my family have been farming for about 75 years or so now. Yeah. And our cows, they obviously don't know any different because that's all they've been raised up in. So therefore, they're happy. When a cow chews their cud, you know what that means?
Yeah, Bradley, but I can give you a really good example. Let's say we take a human from, let's say, a baby, and we raise them inside a jail cell, right? And every prison cell, no, it doesn't. Just because they don't know any better does not mean that they're actually truly happy. because you're still robbing them of the potential of the life they could have had they not been in. So yes, you might look at them and go, "Oh, they're happy." The reality is you've robbed them of a life of freedom, and they are literally slaves in a prison system where they are being utilized to steal resources off of unnecessarily, right?
I can see where you're coming from, but also, so if tomorrow I were to let them all out into the wilderness,
Yeah, no one's telling you. No one's telling no one's telling farms to put your animals in the wild because they're domesticated animals. They're not going to survive in the wild, right? What we're saying is put them in sanctuaries. Sanctuaries will look after these animals without using them for like resources and stealing things from them.
you and me, honestly.
Awesome, Brad. Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, if you have any more questions, we'll speak soon. I would speak to you for a bit longer, but your microphone is kind of repeating my voice, which is making it quite hard for me to hear myself and other people to hear me. But yeah, I would have liked to ask you some more questions about why you're still doing what you're doing and what the reasoning behind it is. But we'll talk about that later. Yeah, just get them off the live stream, right, guys? While we don't have anyone interrupting, can we please just use this time to actually have some good discussions, guys? Please, okay? Come on, let's just use this time to have some discussions with people who actually want to. Why does Gal keep coming up?
Hello.
Why does Gal keep coming up? I didn't, bro. Oh my god, bro.
Chicken now.
The live stream. Yeah, how old are you, please? Yes, Dan, I appreciate that you want to hear from Gal, but there are many people here who have never been able to ask me a question, okay? So I'm going to prioritize the people that have never been able to ask me a question over the people that typically come on here at least a few times a week, okay? Yeah, how old are you guys? Which one of you? Yeah, how old are you, mate? Seriously?
Mate, I literally love eating meat, nigga.
Oh my god.
I love eating meat,
my
nigga.
God.
I love eating meat, nigga.
Yeah, block that person, please.
Mojo Burger, you piece of shit. Oh, hello.
What the hell do you want?
Hello.
What the hell do you want?
How's your day been? How's your day been?
What do you want? What do you want?
Well, what do you mean, what do I want?
I said, what do you... I'm speaking English, which you speak very well, Psycho. So answer the question, what do you want?
Yeah. What do you want? You wanted me.
Oh, you don't know? Oh, okay. We're just going to start bringing up like 3 people because it's so rare we actually get one genuine guest. Anyone over 18 here?
Yeah. No, fuck you.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro.
Oh my god, I eat meat because, like, bro, you can.
It's like, bro, why don't you learn to speak the English language correctly with the proper grammar before? No? Well, Rock Boy's removed you anyway. Great job, Rock Boy. Thank you so much. Right, let's try somebody else on the live. Please make sure you're over 18 and you're actually here to discuss the topic on the screen.
Yo,
Yeah, how old are you, mate?
you know who I am?
No, Is that Tango?
Hello?
Baby.
Right, Tango. I'm so sorry, buddy, but if you bear with me, I've actually got a guest here who might get Tiffany in line instead of coming up here to talk to me. Yeah, Amy, how old are you, please?
I'm 30.
You're 30. Can I just say that is a beautiful rabbit in your profile picture? Is that a rabbit?
It is, yeah.
I actually used to have a rabbit exactly like I do for you. Why are you not a vegan, please?
To be honest with you, I've never really had a reason to become vegan.
Okay, what about animals? You seem to love animals from the picture of your rabbit. You understand that most of the animals you eat are actually a lot more intelligent than your rabbit, such as, things like cows and pigs and...
Well, that's a bit mean to say, isn't it?
No, it's not mean. I love rabbits with all my heart. I've had many rabbits in my life, so I don't say that out of an insult.
But like,
Absolutely more intelligent than rabbits. That's not an
pigs roll around in mud.
Uh,
My rabbit doesn't run around in mud.
Amy, we actually have scientific evidence that pigs have outperformed dogs in tests when it comes to cognitive and memory. So again, I don't make claims insulting.
And now you're insulting dogs. That's a bit cruel.
It's
Considering you're meant to be like this animal person who...
Amy, I'm so sorry. At 30 years old, if you want to act like you're 13, I'm just going to move on. Okay? If I knew that a 30-year-old would act like a toddler, I wouldn't have brought you up. I'm so sorry. That's my fault for assuming intelligence. This is the truth, right, guys? When you tell people the truth, they'd rather attack what you're saying. You know that exact psychology analysis that I brought up earlier, where I showed you guys that when people are is Amy knows that pigs and cows are smarter than rabbits. The reason she would rather attack me than admit that is because that draws out on our own hypocrisies. Because if she loves her rabbit and understands her rabbit is intelligent, that would mean that if she's morally consistent and logically consistent, she would also understand and accept that cows and pigs are way more intelligent. And if she can grant moral consideration to rabbits, she should also extend that consideration to cows and pigs. But she's smart enough to know that it would draw out on her hypocrisies and show that she's contradicting herself. So that is why she attacked me instead. Chaza, stop! The reality is, guys, is the reason I don't get offended by people like Amy is because I like Amy come up and they decide to get offended over me telling them objective truths like cows are more intelligent than rabbits. I know it's not because she actually thinks that. I know it's because she doesn't want to admit that she knows the truth. I know that. Anyway, let's have our an insult. It's literally just the truth, right? Just because you're offended doesn't make you right. Unfortunately, the facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah, let's all write that down. Facts don't care about your feelings. Yes, facts are facts, regardless of whether you like it, whether you're happy, whether you want to cry. A fact is a fact. Yes. Anyway, let's move on to our next guest. Into our moderator.
Hey, I'm not 18, but I just want to learn.
I'm really sorry. You cannot say anything. There's nothing you can say, even if you're trying to be respectful or polite. It doesn't matter. I'm not letting children up because I think they're going to be rude. I'm not letting children up because you're not allowed to be here. Okay. So I appreciate that you might want to come up and be nice. Get the child off! Get the child off!
VK, what's this about you being rude to Tiff?
Oh my god. Are you her knight in shining armor? Are you her
No, I am not.
I was not rude to Tiffany.
Yes, you were.
I was not. What did I say?
Yes, you were. I have seen the evidence.
Lil Joe, there's a reason there's a little in your name, and I show you it's not just your size, it's also your.
VK, I have seen the evidence.
I haven't said anything!
Do you want me to go back to my old ways?
I haven't done anything!
Do you want me to go back to my old ways?
I'm sorry, Tiffany. I'm sorry, Tiffany.
Do you want me to go back to my old ways?
Sorry, Tiffany. I'm sorry, Chasa. I'm sorry.
Now, you need to bring Tiff up, and you need to apologise to her. No, you've got to. You've got to bring Tango up. You've got to bring Slice and Dice up as well.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's not here. He's not here, mate. He's not here. I'm looking through the guest box. I don't see him.
You've called Slice and Dice.
I don't see him! Put your hearing aid up and listen.
Now he's
I
yelling.
don't see him!
Now he's yelling.
Now you're yelling.
I'm not yelling. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mayonnaise. It's not mayonnaise. It's Mayan. Mayan. They're called
Bring up fucking Mayan.
not the Mayan. It's not mayonnaise. Okay, it's called Mayan. You can even ask him. They're called the Mayan people, not the Mayan people.
Shut the hell up and listen to her. Do you understand me?
Mayan, can you confirm? Is it Mayan or Mayan?
First of all,
Answer the question,
It's
Mayan. Answer the question. Oh my
are
god.
you fucking yelling at me?
I see why your ex-girlfriend left you.
What the fuck did you just say?
You heard me.
You did-
I didn't stutter. I just see why your girlfriend left you. You act like this, like a child. It's terrible. It's sad. Grow the fuck up and call on a 24-year-old dumb because I wouldn't give you Wes's information. Kind of stupid, isn't it? Yeah. I'm not dumb if I graduated, darling.
Who muted me? Who muted me? Who muted me? Who muted me? Who muted me?
Bring up Slice and Dice now as well.
Hey, genius!
Never
I
get tenure.
didn't say that.
He's in here. I can see him in the chat.
Rose, you say I look 50. That's why you use a fucking fake picture offline, though.
I don't
Okay.
have a fake picture. So where's the fake picture?
Not you. I said Rose.
Get it mixed out really quickly. Yeah, what do you want, Tango? Tango.
See that?
Tango.
It's lovely, that, isn't it? Little pussy over.
Tango, what is that?
Period.
Oh, wow,
What's that?
that looks
What is?
tasty.
What is that?
Isn't
It's a crab. It's a crab shell.
Are you
For it, bro.
Oh, did you bring some for the rest of the
Out
class?
there, bro. Need lives.
Are you dead?
No. You
I've
can.
done what you asked, Tasha. Tasha, I've done what you've asked. I'm gonna leave anyway because I'm not gonna sit here. No, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Big gun, please stop for a second. Wait, can I just speak? Can I just speak? I have some very sad news, vegans. Another member of our community, I'm not gonna mention her name because I don't want her to feel like she's being called out, but another member of our community has left us. Unfortunately, due to all the negativity that we have been experiencing on these live streams, another vegan has decided to leave our community. And for those of you that don't believe me, here we go, right chair. I don't share this information to call anybody out or make any feel bad. I use this information to show you the damage and the carnage that you are causing in my community. There is nothing to be proud of, Big On. Do not celebrate in the chat as if this is something to be happy about. This is absolutely disgusting. Disgusting behavior. Absolutely disgusting. You are so jealous. Jealous of me, Tango. You've been watching me for one of the longest out of anybody here. And I know that you absolutely... What do you want?
Hey, deep breath, my friend. What's going on? Don't yell at me, boy.
God.